We have another awesome Talanoa tonight with another person in the community who is from the IT industry. I cannot wait for you guys to meet this person who's going to share their journey and their story tonight. So let's welcome Sean Pierre.
Hey, see, my
Hi,
name is Sean
Sean.
Puka, and I'm a lead consulting at SLEEQ, and I basically I specialize in marketing cloud, and I'm here to chat to you a bit more about what that means. So, yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for your time tonight. So let's kick off, right? Let's kick off with a bit of about your background and if we look into your influences. Can you share how your diverse cultural background has influenced your journey into the field of software development and the tech industry as a whole?
Yeah, so for me, I guess I don't really see diverse culture being any benefit to my journey.
Mm-hmm.
I would say um, my own merits would be what got me to where I am, just putting in the hard work and learning as much as I can. I've always wanted to do um, programming from uh, college because I got into like computer games. I played League of Legends and all sorts of games.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
I wanted to create games like that for myself in the future. Um,
yeah,
and so I started pursuing computer computer programming or computer science in college, and carried over to university where I got a scholarship through the Tagalong government, and
yeah.
that was how I got to AUT, and I did a degree, Bachelor of Computer Information Science, BCIS, and then I was lucky to um, register with a company called Tupator. Um,
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
so they're an organization that helps Māori and Pacific students get into the IT industry. And
Mm,
um, I used my diverse background, cultural background, to register with those guys, and they helped me prep for um, job interviews,
mm.
how to beef up my CV,
Yeah.
and uh, sooner or later they got me a job interview with Genesis Energy. So
Wow.
the
Yeah.
role that they were offering me at the time was automation tester, but I don't really know what that meant until I actually got into the interview,
Yeah.
and that's how I got into marketing cloud. So that was the first step into the tech industry for me.
Yeah. Wow. Shout out to Tipator.
Tupator, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
we have to look that up because I mean they should still be existing, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
if,
no, they do program every year. You kind
mm,
of sign up like around, I think it's June, and then it's either June or April, and
mm,
then you go into like a bunch of training sessions for
yeah,
like how to write up a CV, how
yeah,
to prepare for a job interview, and
yeah,
always ask questions kind of thing. It's
yeah,
always
yeah,
important to
yeah.
have questions. Um,
Mm,
yeah, and they taught me to, um, make use of my Tagalog heritage to be myself. Um, don't ever change who you are, because um, that being yourself is the best part of you, and
mm,
wherever you go, that should never change.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wise advice. That's awesome. That's awesome. So. in terms of the education and inspiration, right? So what initially, I think you did mention touch on it, but what initially inspired you to pursue a career in IT? And could you kind of like describe your educational path, including where and what you studied, leading up to your career right now as a software development? Sorry.
Yeah. So I mentioned before I play computer games. I
Yeah.
was really into League of Legends, and uh, I couldn't get away from the laptop. I was always stuck in my room just playing games. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
but
Good.
it got me
Me.
into computer science. So um, I my first programming language was Python, and
Your first one.
yeah, my first programming language was
Oh,
Python. Yeah, and
that's amazing.
it was a good project. Uh, my favorite project was designing a solution for how traffic lights work. And
Wow.
I
Yeah.
got to draw like diagrams and pictures, and it was kind of cool, you know,
Mm.
solutioning something um, that I didn't understood how it worked
Yeah.
initially.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I wanted to do that for a career. I wanted to either build games or create cool solutions that can be used on a platform.
Mm.
What platform I didn't know at the time. And at AUT, the only uh, computer science related degree that they had at the time was Bachelor of Computer and Information Science. And
Yeah.
so I got into that, and I didn't know exactly what major to go into, but the one that was most appealing to me was software development, and
Okay.
that's what led me down that path. And
Right. Yeah.
out of all the languages I learned, I kind of wanted to get into like a professional team where software developers would be, talking to each other with
Mm.
using like um, just having those real insane developer conversations that no one will ever understand.
Understand.
Because
Yeah.
it's always funny, like whenever I try to explain something technical,
Yeah.
I was told to, um, I guess, say it in plain English. Yeah, which is pretty hard for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Because it started so young, eh? And it's awesome that you were able to find the inspiration from gaming.
Yeah. I did consider getting into the gaming industry and
Yes.
programming games, but then I heard a rumor. I didn't actually verify it myself, but I heard that gaming industries like to overwork their employees.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I mean, even myself, I can get very toxic when when your game is not working or the server is down or whatnot. Like the demand for the developers to fix a bug can be very pressuring,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I myself don't. I don't like being pressured all the time, having to
Yeah.
stress or overwork myself.
Yeah.
But I prefer playing the game rather than building it, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such an interesting insight. I would never have known that.
Yeah.
And like the government is throwing so much money towards gaming as well because it needs to kind of uplift in New Zealand compared to the rest of the world. This is me reading the news, but
Yeah.
awesome, man. That's awesome. Um, so I guess we'll go into how you overcame challenges. Were there any significant challenges or obstacles that you faced during your studies, or early in your career, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, so the challenges I faced was the learning curve. Um, where I come from, I never uh did any programming of any sort. Um, we had computer science at Robert Lewis back in Samoa, um, but it was more focused on the hardware side of things. like what's a computer RAM, or
Yeah.
what's a CPU,
You.
mother
Yeah.
processing unit, and all that.
Mm.
Um, they didn't really uh, expose us to any programming, so um, I guess I got confused how programming worked
Yeah.
in the background. Um, like
Mm.
printing something as simple as hello was just unique to me. Um,
Yeah.
I guess you don't really the easiest way to learn programming is to actually just punch in the code and execute it, and
Yeah.
then you see the results,
Yeah.
and that's the best way to learn anything. Is just try it out and um, see how it works. Once you break down how it works, then the the rest is figuring out how to write code. You know, um,
Yeah. Yeah.
because anyone can copy and paste code to
Yeah.
the IDE and just hit execute or run.
Mm.
Um, but once you start learning how it works, you can pretty much pick up like um, the syntax, keywords, and all that from all sorts of sources on Google.
Yeah.
Uh, I'd say Google will be your like main source for any programming languages.
Yeah.
Um, and
Mm.
anyone can learn it in their own time. There's like Udemy courses you can also do
Yeah.
on that. I think that was the main challenges. It was mainly
Yeah.
just learning different different languages and
Mm.
different um, platforms.
That's awesome. That's a massive challenge.
Yeah,
Um, I only really know SQL,
yeah.
but using multiple languages is awesome, man. So when we look at how you transitioned into the workforce, right, from your
hmm
studies, could you describe, your experience transitioning from studying at AUT and to entering the workforce? How did you land your first job in tech, and what were the responsibilities that were involved?
I guess the Marie Johnson, um, she was interviewing me, and uh, I basically told her I like programming, and
Mm.
um, my dream was to always be able to have those high level conversations with other developers and just
Yeah,
be part of the team. Um,
yeah,
and they even asked me a question: how would I picture myself or how do I picture myself in their office? And I said, oh, just a big table with a bunch of computers, and we're all just conversing.
mm.
And she said that was basically it. That was the office. They loved me, and so
Yeah. What?
yeah, I got in. That was through Tupator again.
Yeah,
Um, the responsibilities for the role was basically they had a platform called Marketing Cloud, which is a Salesforce product. And the thing I was testing was the data that they have. They they build audience data and then they send emails to them.
yeah,
And my main role was to essentially test that the right people made it into the audience
yeah,
and they met all these different criterias and all that. And I'll use SQL to I guess validate that. Um,
yeah.
and that was
I have a bit of experience with that as well.
oh
Um,
yeah,
like, what was my role? Database marketing. Yeah, Salesforce, I think, is the number one in the world. Well, one of the top in
yeah.
cloud. Um,
I have
but
seen
yeah,
that on a couple of the websites. Yeah, number
yeah,
one CRM or something like that.
yeah, yeah. It's so good. It's so good. I learned so much from there. I love using that. Awesome. That's awesome. So, in terms of your progression, though, with your
hmm
career, that was just the beginning, right? Um, when we look at your initial role, like in testing, and in consulting to your current position as a lead consultant, can you describe the steps that you took to advance in your career? and transition into software development?
Yeah. So I spent about 6 months as a automation tester at Genesis,
Mm.
and role that I signed up for at Genesis, they advertised it as a kind of like a rotation program where I was meant to spend about 6 months in total, but 3 months as an automation tester and then 3 months as a mobile developer.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
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 So I also wanted another 3 months in the mobile team, and she said, "That's fine. Uh, they'll make sure that I get an additional 3 months um, outside of
Mm.
the 6 months." So I got to um, um, the end of my 6 months with the marketing cloud team, and then I transitioned into the mobile team to kind of
Hmm.
get a bit of experience with Kotlin, another programming language for
Oh,
Android.
right.
The mobile team, they
Yeah.
had two mobile dev teams. One was Android, and the other one was Apple. So I joined the Android team, and we were learning Kotlin at the time,
Yeah.
and that was good fun. Um,
Mm.
but then I think it was coming to the end of financial year, and
Mm.
I didn't uh, express interest to stay on. So I reached out to Marie, and
Mm.
she um, was able to introduce me to a consulting firm
Hmm.
called Devanti.
Devante. Yeah.
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 So Genesis was already receiving um, Marketing Cloud resource from Devanti, and me and him got along
Yeah.
quite well. And
Yeah.
he was pretty much teaching me SQL and how to do cool things in Marketing Cloud. So
Mm. Awesome.
Marie
Yeah.
managed to introduce me to my boss at Devanti at the time.
Yeah.
Uh, and so they offered me the role of consultant at Devanti, and I think I spent about 6 months there.
Wow.
I had two mentors, oh no, three mentors, and I followed one of them off to another company, basically, just because I wanted to do more work with him and learn from him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I basically just wanted to, uh, I wanted to learn to be him, basically, in
Yeah.
terms of like the skills and the knowledge he brought with him. And that's how I landed at SLEEQ, which was, I think, the role that I started with was Marketing Cloud developer, because
Mm.
I've always wanted to be a developer, but
Yeah.
I didn't have a choice of the job titles that were being offered to me. So um, I guess they gave me the option to choose my own role, and that was the role I
Oh,
wanted to go with. You Whatever
yeah.
you learn, whatever skills you pick up, it's yours forever. No one can ever take that from you. Um,
Yeah. No, that's amazing. I'm just so happy for you that you were able to have that kind of support.
yeah.
Role models in that sense. So I've got some people as well that I still kind of like pick on. Oh, help me! What does this mean? How do I do this?
Yeah.
'Cause I haven't coded in about a year, to be honest, but I'm gonna get back into it. I know that I'm gonna be picking on this person. That yeah. So yeah, sorry, I just wanted to. I feel like that I can resonate with all of
Yeah.
that. Um, your one is just like next level. Okay, so let's look at your enjoyments of it, right? In terms of your role, um, what do you find the most, or what do you find most enjoyable about your role as a lead consultant at a consulting company, and what are some of the most rewarding aspects of your job?
Yeah. So even though my title changed, going from marketing cloud developer to lead consultant. The title for me doesn't really mean anything. Um,
Mm.
I guess my responsibilities don't change. Like I still get to do all of these cool products, use them, and build really cool solutions for our customers.
Yeah.
And I uh, I think the most rewarding aspect of it is being able to uh, do those things for our customers to bring their customers closer to them. Um,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
like improve the customer experience, um, or even just being able to help them make uh, or increase their return of investments,
Yeah.
um, which is the important thing. And the other aspects of the job is being able to work with a cool team. Um, like I'm not a very formal or corporate guy. Uh, I like to be very, comfortable in the environment that I work in, and I I'm actually really comfortable with the team in terms of
Yeah.
like our huddle sessions, our catch ups in person.
Mm.
It's like working with my friends basically, you know. It's
Nice.
not
Yeah.
it's not a colleague kind of thing.
Mm. Mm.
Um, we get 4-day work week, so I work.
Really?
I can either take Mondays or Fridays off,
Yeah.
which is another,
Oh,
back-to-back long weekends is pretty cool. In any consulting company, being able to work on various clients gives you different challenges to solve. Um, or sorry, not challenges, opportunities.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, and it just gives you that experience and having learning new skills and gaining new experiences are things that um, you can keep. Um,
Yeah.
it's something that you experience once, and you then will be able to know what to do the next time it comes again,
Mm.
kind of thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's so good because you get the exposure to multiple products
Yep.
and you're not constrained to a company's, what do you call it, values and types of rules, but you get, yeah, it's more flexible. You're just adding more to your kit, right?
Yeah. You're
So
just
much.
building up your customer rapport and
Mm,
building up your profile. So
yeah,
it's definitely a rewarding thing to do.
awesome. So, what advice would you give to someone from a similar background who is considering entering the IT industry?
Yeah. So I would definitely advise people to apply to any job role that they are interested in, and when they're creating their CV. But I always prefer an interesting CV, something that they can like the employer can pick out from a stack of 200. So
Exactly.
something like I like to use Canva, like,
Canva. I love Canva.
and they have so many like templates on
Yeah,
there, and you just scroll through and you pick one that
yeah.
that you find interesting, and it
Mm,
resonates with yourself.
yeah.
Like I got a really crack up CV. I'll have to send it to you sometime.
Oh
It's
my
got
gosh. Yeah.
like ninjas and stuff, like pixelated ninjas, because I built a game.
Really?
Yeah, I built a 2D game, and I just do the ninjas that I had on there, because it was just funny, but it was fun at the same time.
You just stood
Um,
out, that's for sure.
yeah, and I made the background color like blue and pink because I
Oh
thought, why not?
gosh. Yes. Awesome.
But yeah, surely they'll pick that out of a stack of 200.
Who
um,
is this fella? Oh,
yeah, pretty much. Um, so and the other advice would be to sign up with Tupator. Um,
yeah.
they're always looking for students in their final year. But even like if you've already finished uni or if you haven't done uni, it
Mm,
doesn't matter. Like you
okay.
can go on Udemy, do a course, or you
Yeah.
can do a course through Wins, like Wins funds it.
Oh,
Um,
true. Yeah. Awesome.
there's like there's opportunities out there in the IT industry. Um, you
Mm,
just need to apply. There's no harm in applying. People always get afraid. I mean,
mm,
I
yeah.
I got afraid, but we're allowed to make mistakes, and um,
Mm,
the mistake
absolutely.
uh, is not applying.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
um, you'll regret it if you don't apply, because then you'll never know um,
Well, yeah.
where it will take you, kind of thing.
You've given some really cool tips. Canva, awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, Tippy Tour. There's also I don't know if Tippy Tour is it only available from like anywhere, like any of the universities, or just AUT?
Oh, all over
Oh,
New Zealand.
is it all over? Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So how do you believe diversity and representation in the tech industry can be improved, and what steps can companies take to foster a more inclusive environment?
So I think companies that are or employers that are looking for diversity
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be looking at diversity, if
Yeah.
if if that makes sense.
Yeah,
They
it
should
does. Yeah.
be more focused on um what the individual can bring to the table,
Yeah.
um their work ethics, their character. Um
Mm-hmm.
you can get a lot from just having a conversation with someone. Um
Mm-hmm.
and you should always be yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
uh and if you are yourself and you're a hard worker, then I believe you'll be able to get any job you want.
Yeah.
It's just all about putting effort into
Yeah.
yourself and
Yeah.
and applying.
Yeah. 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 It's kind of like that in between diversity, and then you have, your merits.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you mean. I struggle with that. Um, but as long as you put in the work and you're willing to show that you want to grow and learn,
mm,
then you're doing a service. You're serving yourself, but also with your peers, they can see that you're not just a token. You're not just a um, ticking that box. But we
yeah,
do need more. But it's just it goes hand in hand. The work, you
yeah,
can't not do the work. You have to do the work. Otherwise, it's there's no point. But yeah, how do you think having more Maori and Pacifica developers in IT can contribute to the development of artificial intelligence, um, particularly in relation to generative AI, given your background in software development?
yeah. So I'm definitely not an AI expert myself, um, but in saying that, in anything I develop, um, I like to do it from scratch because I want to try it in my own way and how I understand it. And it's just, I guess, it's something that Polynesians like instinctively have, is being creative, innovative, um, and having that skill within AI would be really cool to see, because
Mm,
I see nowadays corporate companies training their, or developers in general are training their own AI models
yeah.
in a variety of different platforms. Um, but still to this day, I don't think I've ever heard of a Polynesian training their own AI. Um, and using it in the corporate space. So um, yeah, whoever does that would be very interesting to meet.
It's still a new area. AI, it's still kind of
Yeah, I
learning.
mean, um, there's I think I've seen with AI, like you can create a video clip with AI.
Mm.
Um, you can create an image using AI prompt. Um,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can create a cartoon script or
yep.
um, what do they call it? A comic?
Comment, yeah.
Yeah, just by a simple few prompts, and
Yeah.
you can do cool things.
Mm.
So another I use ChatGPT every now and then
Mm.
to rephrase
Yeah.
most of my sentences because I can get too technical at
Yeah.
times, and uh, I can't translate it easily into plain English,
You want to
I guess.
simplify it.
Yeah, yeah, that's the word. Thank you.
Yeah, this is definitely an area that because like for me, I would love to have like more software developers just to of Molding Pacifica, just so we
Mm,
can more in the even playing field. Once we get into developing, and I mean it's happening now.
mm.
We just need there's just so much unknowns there. Um,
It's funny because like ChatGPT, you can ask it things like uh explain to me how this sports works. How does baseball work? Um,
mm,
but if you were to ask it, how does Gilgiti work?
exactly,
It's not gonna know, um, because the knowledge isn't there. But if we get more
exactly.
molding Pacific, we can train AI to teach us about our own culture, um,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
to learn. Maybe it could teach us how to speak fluently in the language, because even like Tagalog as a language can be very tricky to
Mm,
translate into English because we don't have all the words. But
yeah.
maybe that's something AI can close the gap on.
Yeah, nah, I totally agree. When ChatGPT first was rolled out, I know that it's
Mm.
been around for a while, but it was really blew up. I think it was last year, the year before, maybe last year. I tested first thing I tested was how do you say hello in Tokelau? And yeah, it was wrong. It came in Samoan.
Yeah.
So but I know that there was like a bit of caveats around that in terms of dates and
Mm.
all that kind of stuff. But man, it was just I think I tested more as well. So we got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Of
The Another tool of AI that I found really interesting is black box AI. So this tool is available on Google, and
yeah,
basically it can write you code in any language. Oh, sorry, I wouldn't say any language. I say in multiple languages. So you can get it to write you SQL, HTML
yeah.
with CSS. You can get it to write Python, JavaScript, um,
Oh
and yeah, it's a fun AI tool you can use, and you can also create your own AI and train it how you want it to, I guess, write you code, so uh, that it knows your coding um, style in a way.
wow.
Mm.
I got. I'm checking that out. I'm checking out this weekend. I've got no life, so awesome. I've never
Yeah,
heard of that book. So see,
yeah.
that's awesome. Um, did you have any mentors or role models who helped guide you in your career, particularly as you transitioned into software development? How did their guidance impact your journey?
Yeah, so back at Genesis, we had the Devanti supporting Genesis Marketing Cloud account,
Mm,
and the guy that was assisting Genesis at the time was Mike Lyons,
yeah.
and he specialized in Marketing Cloud, and um, he was training one of our um, email devs, uh, Farhan. Um, so I kind of just tagged along, with those training sessions, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
he said it was cool. Um, he doesn't mind because uh, it was just us three at the time.
Oh nice.
Um, so it's very small
Mm.
training session, and
Nice.
I got to learn a bit of SQL, bit of email dev, and I kind of once Marie introduced me to the guys at Devanti, I met up with Mike Lyons again, and I was in his team. So he taught me a lot of SQL.
Yeah.
Um, and I also met Zaman Shah. Um, he was, I guess, my coach for a lot of Salesforce products. So
Oh nice. Yeah.
he not only taught me marketing cloud, but he taught me Datarama, or just now marketing cloud intelligence, and he taught me server-side JavaScript and AMScript, and um, there's another language. I think it was SoCal, and some
Oh
other
yeah.
stuff.
Hmm.
Um, and even and then I really enjoyed working with Zaman.
Yeah.
Um, and I kind of just followed him to SLEEQ, where
Ah,
he taught me more um, about
awesome.
architecting, TypeScript, and um, I think he taught and Python a little bit. Um,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, nah, he's a fun guy to work with, and
Mm.
he was always, I guess, thinking outside the box.
Box. Yeah.
Um, because everyone, I I think most marketing cloud users like to follow the docs and kind of stay within what's been documented, but he
Yeah.
always likes to break it and build solutions outside
Yeah,
that
nice.
will just blow your mind.
Oh, really? Oh, nice. That's
And
awesome.
yeah, I just wanted to have that same um,
Yeah.
thought process and
Mm.
follow that style. Um,
Mm.
the other mentor I had was Sharul. Sharul.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a uh, he described it to me as architects are like um, there are many different types of architects. He was a solution architect,
Yeah. Yeah.
but he told me that there's different types of architects. They're a different kind of beast, is what he described them. Um, and it got me intrigued. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
he said that there's different levels um, of being
Mm.
an architect, and um, the I guess the highest one out of all of them was enterprise architect,
Yeah.
and it was an architect that kind of solutioned various different systems that were integrated into one,
Yeah.
and he would be like the architect that would talk to all the other architects. He was the boss of architects, kind of thing. So
Yeah. Yeah.
seeing like architects all draw up their different high level solutions and then passing it up to the enterprise architect to kind of approve the overall big picture
Yeah.
was something I aspired to be.
Yeah.
Um, I wanted to
Nice.
be an architect, an enterprise architect. But
Oh,
he
go to the
also told
top.
me that it'll probably take like 5 to 10 years in terms of experience. Um, just because yeah, uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So uh, I still wouldn't even consider myself as an architect in
Mm.
training,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. You're in you're in developing, so a lot of the yeah. I mean, I work
Mm.
with the architects at work, and man, yeah, he's right about the different types. We call them principal architects, without the enterprise ones. But man, if you spend like an hour with them, you just learn so much.
Yeah,
Uh, you could spend more time with them, but yeah, they have got a really good grasp of just connecting things, and yeah,
yeah. It's fun seeing them piece things together in their head. and they
absolutely.
were
Yeah.
like, I think I've seen an architect just look into the sky and just like picture everything, and you can see his eyes like just moving, just trying
Yeah.
to visually picture how everything would integrate with each other, which is
Yeah. Yeah.
pretty fun, interesting to watch.
Yeah. But it is inspiring though. It does inspire
Mm.
a lot of people. You get data ones, you got your solutions architect, yeah, principal. But yeah, I can talk more. I can talk so much about this architecture. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love that. But I think also I just want to mention that software development where you are is a really good pathway to develop.
Mm.
Probably the best one. I know there's other ways, but this is probably the best way. Or that's what I've been told anyway from some architects at my work. So you're on the right path. um, okay, cool. So let's look at at your work life balance. So as a lead consultant and software developer, how do you manage your work life balance, especially considering the demands of the tech industry? Do you have any strategies or practices that you find helpful?
But I tend to work from home most of the time.
Yeah.
Every once in the blue moon, I'll go into the office, or if we have any like Salesforce events or client meetings, we'll do in
Mm.
person. Um, so on those days, I usually get a haircut and then go out. Like I work from 9 to 5, um, and I'll normally after work I'll just play games straight after. Like
Oh,
I'll
wow.
play from like 5 to I don't know, God knows when. Like maybe like 3 a.m. or something. It's pretty bad.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. Nah,
but
I feel you.
having yeah, but when you're working on multiple clients,
Hmm.
uh, it's kind of tricky because the each environment is different or unique to each other, and
Hmm.
I tend to forget from time to time what environment I'm in,
Oh,
and
true. True. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
if I was working on um, a client that had multiple um, marketing cloud accounts for um, sub child brands,
Right. Yeah.
um, then it'll be um, confusing sometimes because I'll forget which environment I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah. I could just
And
imagine that.
and then switching like from project to project, if you got multiple projects, it can be really tiring and um, stressful. But having a variety of projects to work on keeps the job interesting. If I
Yeah.
only worked on one client the whole, like let's say 3 years, I'd
Oh,
be bored. I'd be pretty bored.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
having different projects is good for it makes things interesting, and it makes
Yeah.
the gives you different challenges to overcome,
Mm.
and different solutions to try,
Yeah.
and you learn and pick up new skills and experiences from each client.
Yeah.
So the other thing, uh, but to combat overworking yourself or
Yeah.
stressing out from
So,
having multiple projects and
mm.
multiple deadlines. I'll be honest, there've been many times. Um, just gotta always remember that you have to always take breaks. Um, we're only human. We
Mm.
can't work um, ourselves to the point where we're feeling stressed.
Yeah.
It's not healthy. Um,
Absolutely.
so uh, every now and then, I'll just take a lunch break, uh,
Mhm.
and I'll just play games. You know,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Just
I
to play.
yeah,
Just to not
yeah.
think. Basic.
I can also uh, talk to them about the projects I'm working on.
Mhm.
Um, I don't have to be, uh, I guess, formal or
Yeah.
be someone I'm not. You know.
Yeah. I
Uh,
see what you mean.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it's just fun to de-stress in huddles, um, and
Yeah.
then be able to take breaks, and do things that I find fun myself.
Yeah.
So, uh, advice for um, others that are looking to balance their work is um, being able to take breaks and do something that they enjoy doing,
Yeah.
to kind of reset their mind before coming
Mm.
back to um, project works of
Yeah.
whatever industry they're in. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, shout out to SLEEQ, man. Your team sounds so awesome. In terms of your development, professional development, how do you stay updated with the latest trends and advancements in software development? And do you actively pursue any form of ongoing professional development or certifications?
Yeah, so staying up to date with the latest trends and advancements in Marketing Cloud,
Mm.
and not just in Marketing Cloud, it could be any Salesforce product. They do patch notes in on the Salesforce documentation site.
Yeah.
Um, they'll drop
Awesome.
in patch notes for I think it's yearly, or is it?
Mm.
I don't know how often they
Once a
drop it
year or
actually,
something.
but yeah, and you'll just go on there and read up on all the new features, all the new
Yeah.
changes that they've added,
Yeah.
and that will help you keep up um, with the latest developments that Salesforce has made to
Yeah.
whatever Salesforce product it is. Um,
Mm.
and so that's for Marketing Cloud. Um, Marketing Cloud also has a MC user group, um, where we do Salesforce events. So we had one yesterday, um,
Oh, yeah. Nice.
and that was to go over the patch notes. It was run by uh, my boss at SLEEQ, and so um, we basically got together at the Salesforce Tower. That's
Mm-hmm.
Salesforce HQ,
Yeah.
and we basically just went over the different cool features that they got and had pizza and some drinks. Yeah. So
Nice.
um, sign up to events like those. They
Mm.
usually advertise on the Salesforce events page.
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot of events, not just MC user group. Um, there's also like community forums that you can join, um,
True.
that are specific to a Salesforce product. So there's even one for Marketing Cloud, CRM, MCAE, CDP, and Datarama. Like there's lots of groups you can join for
Mm.
um, uh, for people that are in the same um, industry or using the same product as you, and
Yeah.
they help you keep up to date with all sorts of things that's happening with the product.
Yeah, nice. No, that's awesome. So, in terms of the in community involvement, right?
Hmm.
Are you involved in any tech related communities or initiatives outside of your regular work responsibilities? And how do you see community engagement contributing to personal and your professional growth?
Mm. Does this one count?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yes, yes, it does. Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
cool. From time to time, I think our Salesforce AE will invite us to a couple of training sessions for other Salesforce products like Marketing Cloud Account Engagement. I usually go to those Salesforce products that I tend to use
Yeah.
day-to-day basis. So
No.
um, they help me. Usually when we do these training sessions, they give us a bit of homework to do before the session,
Yeah.
and then what they'll do is once you get into the room, they're usually in person. Um,
Mm.
they give us a scenario, uh,
Mhm.
a real life. Um, oh, I say real life, not really real.
Like a use
Um,
case.
yeah, yeah,
Real life.
a use case. Um, and they allow us to kind of solution it.
Mm.
Um, they make us form teams, and
Yeah.
we
Oh, wow.
then collaborate in person and create a solution, and then we actually build it using whatever Salesforce product that we're training for.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and then what they do is they give us the opportunity to present it
Mm-hmm.
um, to the
Mm.
to the room. Um, it's like it's it's like an assignment you do
Yeah.
at AET.
At uni, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, uni, sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and you just present your solution, what you built, and how you solve the company's problem.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
um, and it also gives you like uh, not only public speaking experience, but also be able to see how other people um, these are people when they break into teams, uh, you'll you won't know everyone,
Right.
and so you're meeting new
Yeah.
people
People. Mm.
and from different consulting companies or even
Yeah. Right.
so it's like a bunch of consulting companies that gather, form teams, and then build solutions. And
Yeah.
it's interesting to see
Oh man.
um, uh, their way of thinking, their strategies, um,
Yeah.
different skills being put together to build a
Yeah.
solution together. And you only get given about 15 minutes,
Oh
15 to
wow.
30 minutes, and
Yeah.
you just do
Um,
like it's like a hackathon kind of.
that's what it is. I was trying to think of the name. Hackathon. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and it's pretty cool to see other people's
Approach to.
uh
Okay.
approach. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Oh, cool.
there's different ways to solving a problem. That's the best part. And
Mm.
learning different ways to solve a problem gives you enough ammunition to tackle
Yeah.
any problem that you face with your own clients in a consulting company.
Oh, okay. As a developer, what are your thoughts on the ethical responsibilities of tech professionals, particularly regarding issues such as data privacy, oh, I hate this word, algorithmic bias, and societal impact of technology?
Oh wow.
I love this question. I love this question.
um, it's important for tech professionals to be able to pass on their knowledge, um, and it can be through a one-on-one, a training session, or documentation. Um,
Yeah,
uh, when focusing on documentation, it's really important um, for documents to be able to be read um, by anyone,
mm,
regardless of their background
yeah,
um,
yeah,
or their skills. Anyone should be able to read handover documentation or any kind of documentation without context, um, and they can understand it and be able to um, figure out where things are or whatever feature or whatever platform it is about, kind of thing.
yeah, yeah,
Um, Tech professionals, they help guide the future of um, the uh, IT industry. Um, so anything about data privacy, um, like for example, I myself didn't know that sending um, data of any kind um, in an email is prone to be
yeah,
um, stolen or hacked.
yeah,
Um, and the way to go about it is you zip it
hmm,
um, and you encrypt it with a password, and
yeah,
then you before and then when you send an email with an encrypted zip file, you pass the password through. Um, at the Teams because Teams is quite secure. There's various tools like that,
Yeah.
but it's all about protecting personally identifiable data,
Yeah.
um, things like that. Um, there's also legalities around accessing data in foreign countries. Um,
Yes.
so like these are things I myself wasn't taught. I didn't um, know until it was too late. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and this I don't think it falls on me. I don't think it's fair that it falls on anyone that's new coming into the industry. And
hmm
this would then rely on
Yeah.
the tech professionals being able
Oh
to
yeah.
have the documentation in place, the
Yeah.
policies in place around data, dealing with data, um, and it can play a huge impact on technology. So um,
Yeah.
there are I can definitely see why that would be a very good question.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's kind of like my area with governance. Oh yeah. Because Salesforce is in the US, but
They have a
the
server in
yeah,
Australia now.
I know,
Yeah,
yeah, which is awesome.
yeah,
That's why I think that it's gonna be huge here in New Zealand now, or a few more
mm,
companies that might, but yeah, man, but once you look into all those privacy and data breaches and all that kind of stuff, that man, all this data sovereignty, all the types of, yeah,
yeah.
the new world. So let's look at leadership philosophy. So as a lead consultant, what is your leadership philosophy, and how do you inspire and motivate your team members to achieve their best? Can you share any leadership principles or practices that you find effective?
I like um my team members to be able to choose what let's say Salesforce products. I like them to choose their own pathways. I want them to be able to um, find something that they resonate with themselves, and
Mm, yeah,
because I find it when you're passionate about um, your career aspirations, you go uh, to the end to achieve it. Um, you go to great lengths to achieve it.
yeah,
Um, and so I I never want to push anyone um, to doing something that um, just for the sake of doing it.
mm,
I'd rather push um, my team members towards something that they find both intriguing and interesting and fun. Most importantly, it has to be fun. Something you want to do and make a career out of is the best way to inspire and motivate my team.
yeah,
Um, what I like to always encourage my team is to make mistakes and make and learn from them. The more mistakes you have, the more experience you gain, and
mm,
um, that's that's as that's the best way I'd like to teach and lead people is lead them by being able to guide them and assist them whenever a mistake is made. It should never
yeah,
be on them if they do make a mistake. It should be about what's the learning opportunity behind it and how
mm,
they can improve and move on to the
yeah,
next problem.
mm,
Leadership practices. Um, I myself is still learning how to lead.
yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
I'll be honest, and uh, it's I get nervous every time I'm even uh,
Wow.
training an
Mm,
employee
yeah,
or even trying to coach them
good though.
because um, I don't want to. nurture them in the wrong way. I don't want to mislead them. I want to always make sure that um, at the end of the day, they're the ones that are paving their own path,
Yeah.
and I'm just there to provide a safe and um, safe learning environment and
Yeah.
and a fun environment for
Yeah.
them to learn in. So um, if I pick up any additional leadership practices, I'll definitely share them. But other than that,
Yeah.
still in training.
Think you'll be I reckon you'll be an awesome leader, like approachable, you know,
Yeah,
approachable, especially if you created a safe space,
yeah,
they can be themselves and be true selves and be able to not be afraid to like, oh, you know,
yeah,
don't be, I don't know how to do this, or
mm,
because the worst leaders are the ones that you just like, you can't approach,
mm,
you can't improve, you can't go forward if you can't have a safe space and a safe leader. But I reckon
yeah.
you'll be a really good leader. Um,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, I always tell them like if they ever get stuck, um,
Mm,
to always like lean on me,
yeah.
for any assistance or yell out, and that's how I always make time, regardless of how busy my schedule can be.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to switch off from your own technical stuff and go into the people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
as well.
at the end of the day, they're gonna help me,
Yeah.
and then clear out my plate.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Oh,
it's in my best interest to help support them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. I love that. I love good leaders too. I feel like these days there's more good ones now. So
That's good.
yeah, I've come, yeah, which is good. But I still see a lot of bad ones too. But go down there. All right. Last question. Um, so let's look at your long-term vision. Looking ahead,
Mhm.
where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years in terms of your career goals and aspirations? Are there any specific milestones or achievements that you hope to accomplish?
Yeah. So in terms of career goals, I want to become a architect, um, be
Yeah.
able to get certified, and I want to get a couple more Salesforce certs, um, like MCP, uh, MCI, and maybe there's quite a few certs I can't remember the top of my head, but
Yeah.
there's quite a few I want to get
Yeah.
before I um before I decide to move on. I want to get into the film industry. Um, I want to create a
How?
I want to make a movie, something that's um more about my cultural background, um, because I want to know what it's like to make a movie. I mean, there's no guidelines anywhere, uh,
Yeah.
and I quite like animation. I myself watch a lot of anime, um, and I want to create a movie that can teach about my um, culture and um, not just my culture. I want to try teaching the world um, multiple cultures. You know,
Mm.
I want to learn about um, not just Togalao, Samoa, Tonga, um, Kiribati, Tuvaluan. There's a whole bunch of culture out there um, that's not publicly known. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
like the languages, the hateles, the sports. Uh, there's lape, uh, gilgiti. You know,
Mm.
all the different dances. It'd be really cool to show that, kind of like Moana,
Yeah.
but yeah, I want to do something on the level of like not a TV series, level of like Avatar, um,
Wow. Yep. Yeah. Wow.
devices. Yeah. Um, I want to make multiple movies, and I actually made a company. I figured out to register a company. Um,
Gosh.
yeah, I tried it, and now I'm just looking what the next steps are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Nice.
next to 5 to 10 years, I wanna have a studio company where I just build kind of like the Lucasfilm studio. You can
Oh
actually
yeah.
search them up. Um, and I want to make like all kinds of films, like
Mm.
movies, um, short animation series, and then it'll be
Yeah.
like everywhere, like Netflix. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
nah,
Oh.
be pretty cool, pretty fun. I think my auntie was like, "Oh yeah, you can hire me as an actor,
Yeah.
actress." But
It's probably the best one too.
yeah, it'd be pretty cool to work on.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can transition all these skills that you've built up
Yeah,
in
most
your.
definitely. Yeah. Programming, architect. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Absolutely. And you're so creative as well. It started from a young age. So, you know, carrying it on to, if you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years, that's almost like, yeah, that's like a really awesome pathway and journey. I would really love to see you create some movies.
Yeah,
Um,
it'll be pretty cool.
yeah, it'll be so funny too, I'm sure. So we'd like to see you. I mean, if Hollywood's going to be a thing in the next 5 to 10 years, I don't know, but look forward
Yeah,
to having
I just
you.
gotta get my foot in the door into the
Yeah,
network.
yeah,
Maybe
network.
reach out to like Jack Black and Taika Waititi.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
do it. Oh
yeah,
my god.
and then
Yeah.
make a website to kind of like showcase
Mm,
different arts
yeah.
of like what will be animated and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love
so
it.
be pretty cool.
Oh yes. Well, what a career. It's so cool that you know already what you want and you've
Yeah,
got
I
these.
actually didn't even know what I wanted. I thought at first it was gonna be software developer,
Yeah,
and then I
yeah.
tried it out, and it's definitely good fun. Um,
Mm, mm,
but I guess it was something that was picked up along the way. I
yeah.
definitely didn't have the full picture because I didn't know other roles or other industries existed. I just thought, hey, I've seen this, I want to try this, and now
Mm,
I've seen so much, and I want to do that thing, you know?
yeah. You've picked up on you've added so much to your kit that it's empowered you to like, oh,
I
what
can
else?
actually go outside my bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think having a mentor there, like you said, like thinks outside the box, that's kind of
yeah,
picked up as well. But oh man, for the first time right now, I'm thinking the same thing. Like, yeah, so what else is there? So I feel like you feel empowered
yeah,
just by I think having a growth mindset and a growing, yeah, like learning things all the time. It's actually empowering. You can actually go to other industries. You can really find where your passion is. So, um, oh, that's so inspiring. It's so inspiring. See, everyone, yes, IT is great, but it also can launch you into, um, you know, whatever direction you want to go.
yeah. The
Um,
word's your oyster.
that's right. That's right, man. Sean, I'm so happy that we've discussed tonight and like what we've spoken about tonight. So many gems, so many tips and advice that I think I'm going to have to share on this because you have been able to provide some specific like advice for not just for
Mm.
anyone. So I really appreciate your time and this Talanoa because I've learned so much. You inspire me big time, big time. Like to meet someone like who's had a journey like yours. Like I'm
Mm.
so inspired by and so impressed. I'm so impressed. And I know I don't want to like overload you with all that. I know, but it's honestly, I'm telling you that I'm really impressed. And so I just like, big shout out to yourself. Really proud. Well, I'm just proud. I'm proud to have learned so much from you, but I'm really happy that you've able to come and share this to so many people. You're going to inspire a lot of people from all sorts of backgrounds. Like I said, I would love to have more software developers,
Mm.
from our community. But just in general, like, I think this is a field that is quite attractive to a lot of people as well.
Yeah,
But
definitely. Good money
yeah,
too in this industry.
yeah, it is lucrative. Yes,
Mm.
absolutely. And you can be, yeah, I'm going to share some resources and probably get your help. But in terms of like types of stuff that you can, what involves as well. But you've given a really good insights into development, software development. But yeah, thank you.
No worries. Anytime.
Yeah. So if anyone's got any questions and want to get to know more about Sean's background, I'm sure you don't mind.
Yeah, I don't mind. Definitely. They can add me on LinkedIn.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
LinkedIn. LinkedIn. I think that's the best way to contact,
Mm.
engage with him because man, this guy is unique. And I say that in a really good way. So I really, really encourage people to. We've got a leader right here in our community, and we're so lucky to have in New Zealand in general. So thank you so much.
No
Thank you.
worries.
It's so cool to see someone of Tokalam background to that has this
Mm.
big um, background on and technical background and experience. So yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.